What's up, everyone? This is Softspoken, and you're listening to the Kevin Powell Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kevin Powell Podcast. I'm Kevin Powell. I'm your host. I love doing this. I love talking to bands. It doesn't matter if they're heavy, not heavy, pop, folk. I'll talk to a country artist. Hell, it's just something I love doing. I love talking to bands, musicians, just getting to know a little bit more about them. And now we're going to get to know a little bit more about the band Softspoken. So, who we got with us? We got Softspoken. How's everyone doing?
Hey, what's up? My name is Sam, and I provide the vocals.
And I am Kevin, and I play the drums.
Whoa. We can't have two Kevins. Happy to meet you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
Softspoken, you got a few things going on. You got a new release. Is that what I remember?
Yes, sir.
Yep. EP,
Tell me about this.
Yeah, I was going to say we got a new EP coming out February 21st. Super excited about it. We've already released a fair amount of singles off of it. We got a new single that will be coming out with it. It's February 21st. And it's awesome. And we're super proud of it. And I'll let Sam say whatever, if he has anything he wants to say about it.
Yeah, this EP was a good collective. Kevin, Dylan, and our new addition, Robbie. It's my favorite group, this lineup. And the fact that we called it Martyr just kind of fell into place. And I guess I didn't realize until a couple of interviews prior to this one that I've been writing music that's just bigger than I don't know. It's I feel like we keep writing. I don't know where I'm going sometimes. It's I'm writing for something. And the Martyr kind of just sums up we just love to play music and spread a positive message. And if that's all that we can do for one person even, then that's the legacy that's worth dying for, worth sacrificing for, leaving families to go on the road for, even if we can save one person. So to kind of sum up the EP, and it kind of helped us, and hopefully it helps everyone else out there who have purchased it.
So, I love hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know fans do as well, and maybe new fans learning about you guys. Tell me about the writing process for Martyr. What was it like going into this? Was it any different compared to previous releases? Anything at all?
Yeah, it was. There's a few moments that were different. I can start this one, and then I can throw it to Kevin easily. A few of the songs, Love Talk Alone and Oblivion, were kind of, I call them COVID songs. So I kind of was secluded to myself, trapped when everyone else was too. And so lots of expression was happening. And so those songs came about during COVID. And me and Chris were just bouncing ideas off each other, whether it be me on my computer with guitar, and just finding some free beats here and there. Some, I think Alone had a little hip hop beat to it. Oblivion, I kind of wrote the melody and guitar simultaneously. So then that happened. And then COVID, we had some label interest that just didn't work out. And just time, it kind of put a dent, that plus COVID. We've gotten some new members and wrote some new music, and one of the songs we even hardcore, just old school, traditionally sat together as a band and wrote these parts all together. And that's where I'll throw it to Kevin.
I was gonna say, so the one in between was my actual first tour with these guys, and we had a show cancel, unfortunately. But we reached out and we found out this guy Evan McKeever. I had never heard of him.
Oh yeah, against me.
But yeah, we
forgot about that one.
Yeah, we just so happened to be in his area near Cleveland. And so the guy we usually write with was like, hey, go write with this guy. So we took some ideas to him and we came out with I Against Me. So that's sort of we got the COVID 3, and then we got the middle track, I Against Me. And then we started writing as the current lineup of this group. And like Sam said, Throw Me Your Roses was the first one of that. And it was this very collaborative effort. So I'm the most passionate about that one because it's, we all have full-time jobs. I wish we could be doing this and making a living off of it. But that was one time where we made sure that we were all together. And from the beginning, we all kind of put our efforts into that one. So, and then Invincible and Twilum came shortly after that. And yeah, the rest is history. Now we're ready to release it to the world.
And hearing that, you guys have had demo ideas since COVID?
Yeah.
Can you believe how long it's been since then?
I know. That's it's 5 years ago. Almost, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable because like you said, full-time jobs. I have multiple because, man, I wish this covered the bills, but no, that's not the case. But that's okay. We'll get there one day. With the COVID demos, what was that like? I asked because, man, I can't tell you how many bands I've talked to that maybe have the similar experience where like, shit, I'm bored. I'm just going to write some tunes. Was it like that?
Yeah, but also because it was like also depressing in a way too, because the game changed and everyone was like, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be streaming live, you need to be doing this. All the marketing that we had learned up to that point, everything that we had been doing, we even had a huge tour out west, and I'd never been out west, a tour that was planned, but that got canceled because of COVID. So just everything that we had done just changed. I felt like overnight almost. And just so I was, I'm in my 30s. I wasn't quite on the TikTok train. I knew about it. My wife actually had it, and she was the one that's like, "This thing is crazy. You gotta get on it." And so famous. She had me on that one. But lo and behold, those tracks were COVID tracks, and they were also just my like battle with the internet, battle with trolls, battle with just everyone's mindset was just like so divided. Even kind of still to this day, it almost kind of feels like COVID was just like this like weird timestamp in our all timeline, and now we use it as like in COVID, instead of saying 2020 to 2025, we might be saying COVID years. Like,
yeah, it used
it's
to be
just really affected us. Yeah, sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
no, it used to be BC and AD. Now it's pre-COVID
Yeah,
and
yeah,
after COVID.
in a weird way. And I just feel like that Love Talk, for example, was just about like not letting numbers be your like decisive factor in your being. Like you are outside of your phone and your computer, and one day we're gonna get to go outside again. And one day we're gonna see live music again, because it's just not the same. And so that's that song. Then Oblivion is just like me in this really deep black hole that like I felt like I was spiraling. Like I'm putting so much passion into this, and so many other people probably felt the same way. Like, how am I going to get heard? How am I going to get the reach that I need with all this oversaturation of just negativity? And then Alone, like literally, me and my wife were obsessed with this show on the History Channel called Alone, and it kind of made me think like, oh my God, like, you know what? The one thing I need in my life is people that love me and love, and I don't want to ever be alone, and that's what's important. So I want to say that now Oblivion came last, but that would almost be a nice like, I felt like this. I really got depressed, and then I figured out that
shouldn't be alone.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
the COVID songs, like maybe they could have been their own EP, to be honest. But Softspoken was just going through a lot, so it only makes sense to put those with the rest of the martyr songs, because of the martyr life, the musician's life, the sacrifice we make. It's all in this EP.
Now, did
A lot of word salad there.
I'm just going to call it this. Did the COVID songs,
Yeah, go for
listen
it.
to them jamming, and then the newer ones, was there any kind of like, there's clearly a divide, or like, no, this definitely all blends together. This is awesome.
Yeah, I feel like you can slowly see a little, I'd say growth. We're always like growing our dynamic features, soft and loud, heavy software. But I think they're a blend. Like, I think like Twilight, when you hear it next week, you'll hear examples of that in Oblivion, so on
Okay.
and so forth. Like,
So you can clearly hear the progression. So that's cool.
yeah, I think so. I think so.
One
But
last
there's
thing
definitely similarities. Oh yeah, go ahead.
One last thing I'll say about COVID, and then we're moving on because
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
need to be talked about forever.
Cheers. Yeah.
Are you guys like big? I mean, we're musicians. We like live music. Do you guys go to like festivals or concerts or anything like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys prefer it pre-COVID or post, and why?
I don't.
I mean,
I feel like the
I think
festival scene got popular before COVID, anyways. Like, I feel like in our world, once Kevin Lyman like stopped doing Warped Tour,
Mhm.
it was like the festival circuit just blew up for rock. I feel like,
Hmm.
and I could be wrong, so correct me. But I don't necessarily feel a difference, and maybe I'm the wrong person to ask, because my wife is also on the road trying to make music happen for myself.
Yeah, no. I think pre-COVID, there was just no concern, and not necessarily, between the members of the band, but just like people going to shows. You got this divide of how people feel, and should I be scared? Should I be going in, to this giant group of tens of thousands of people? So I honestly feel like we could start to see like a dip in like attendance at bigger shows, and I'd have to check festivals. As long as they keep having Godsmack and Linkin Park play, I guess they're doing all right. But I mean, overall, I feel like, you know, there's just now this concern, and everybody's like, oh, but if I'm sick, I can't go. It used to just be like, oh, screw that, man.
Yeah,
like, if I got tickets to the show, I'm going, and I'm going to jump in with everybody, and we're going to breathe the same breath, and we're going to have a blast.
It wasn't even a second thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I
kind of miss that like fly by night, you know, do whatever you want mentality when it came to concerts.
I'll say this, and then again, we're moving on. So I think it was Sonic Temple last year. And yeah, I do stuff for Danny Wimmer Presents, but I'm not biased here. I like what they do.
Yeah.
Me and my bass player were waiting for Sleep Token, and we had to get through. I mean, no offense to them, but I'm not a big fan of In This Moment. But Sleep Token, well, guess what? They're huge. So we wanted to be kind of close, not all the way up front, but kind of close. And we got, I don't know, from me, like couple dozen yards away from the stage. That's good enough. I don't need to be right there.
Yeah.
We couldn't move because of how many people were there. But what I remember prior was if you were in a big group of people, you were just too close to people. Now, like even then with Sleep Token, I was like, man, there's a lot of people, but I could still like take a step in front of me or take a step back. Like there was just enough room in that. I don't know if that's like a subconscious thing now that people do. Like, well, maybe I'll give them a little bit of space, but I like that.
That's probably, that's great. Yeah.
You're right.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So moving forward beyond COVID, because that's back in the BC times.
That's a positive thing about COVID.
So
people understand space.
You mentioned that, you know, we had that tour that we had to cancel, but you have tour dates coming up. What about those? Where are you going? What's going on with this?
Yeah, so we're obviously supporting the EP. It starts out with just our headliners. We're going to Nashville this Friday. I don't know when this interview will come out, but this Friday, Valentine's Day, we'll be in Nashville, and then we're going to Atlanta after that. Take a few days off, and then we'll be in Hobart, which is basically like a suburb of Chicago, on the 20th. And then we're going to Louisville. We'll have a hometown show, Cincinnati, the day after that. And then we're going up to Cleveland the day after that. Then we got a little break. And in April, we're doing a 4-day run with the Wise Man's Fear, if you've heard of them.
I have. Okay.
Yeah, they're homies of ours. We played a show in Cleveland and connected and clicked. So, so we're doing a little run with them in April. Scranton, Baltimore, Charlotte, and Greenville, South Carolina. And then we got Frost Fest, which is in Buffalo in early May. And then everything after that, I'm not allowed to say yet because we're waiting on some details or just waiting for somebody to dot some I's, cross some T's, whatever. But yeah, definitely some big hopes about some shows that are like right there on the precipice of being finalized and being able to be announced. So yeah, so that's what we got going on right now, though. Already booked.
Awesome. No, I think you guys have a manager, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was not to say he dropped the ball here, but I think he said you guys were going to open up for Metallica or something. I think
whoa.
I'm just putting that out there, just for fun. Also, I talked about Sonic Temple because they're playing anyways.
Yeah.
See how quickly it snowballs. And then when you said Frost Fest, I was expecting you to say, yeah, we're playing up in Buffalo, and it's going to be in the middle of the ice storm. It's going to be crazy.
It probably will be. I don't care if it's May. I was literally thinking about this morning when I was scraping my car. I was like, and I stopped. I was like, I wonder if in May it's going to be snowing in Buffalo. I swear I had that thought this morning.
Probably.
I don't know why, but yeah. So funny.
It's been a few years for me since Buffalo, but yeah, I just remember it being like stupid cold, and I was like, not a fan. Yeah. What was that town? What was that city you said was in Kentucky?
Newport. Well, you might be thinking Hobart. Hobart is the suburb of Chicago, and then Louisville is where we're playing in Kentucky.
That was it. So I asked that because, all right, here's another festival thing. So Louder Than Life was there. Yep. Anytime that, so it doesn't matter, like not just me, but anytime that someone that does video or radio or audio or pod, whatever, anytime anyone mispronounces something one time, you better believe the comments are just flooded with that. So I'm running with this idea, and I haven't done it just yet, but how do you say that again?
Louisville?
Yeah. So
it's the people of Louisville say it wrong.
Yes, that's how they say it. And that's how I was told.
Louisville.
They say it. But I was told that, I'm not from there. I'm from West Virginia. I was told that after I made my video saying like, hey, so Louder Than Life's coming to, I think I said Louisville, right? Because that's what it looks like. I don't know.
You
You
got
better believe
slaughtered.
people
You
are
got
like,
slaughtered.
you
yeah.
idiot. So now I'm going to run with this idea where anytime I mention a city, I'm 100% going to say it the wrong way every
Oh
time.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
butcher it for sure.
Louisville. It's Louisville. I'm just going to make it up as I go.
Yeah,
When you
easy way to get people to engage on your content. That's brilliant.
See?
That
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, and if you look at everybody's tour announcement, look for Cincinnati, and they misspell it all the time too, and then they get that engagement of people being like, "It's Cincinnati, not Atti." Like, yeah, literally hundreds of comments about how you spelled it wrong. So, yeah, you're right. That's not a bad idea. We should just make tour flyers that are horrible with spelling.
Do that, make the videos like, hey, Louisville, we're coming your way, and just let them have at it.
Yeah.
So we're in 2025 right now, but, what about 2024? Is there anything memorable you would like to talk about?
Go ahead. Sam.
Yeah, definitely Japan for me, and maybe Kevin too. But that was
Yeah.
definitely
Excuse
a
me?
bucket list.
Huh?
Oh, the band got to go to Japan for the first time. That was a bucket list, and it's crazy that music took us there. That's awesome.
Okay.
So, Chris,
I think you're
yeah,
underplaying that because you're like, yeah, dude, we just
he
went to
definitely
Japan.
was. I'll
I
give you a
was?
little. I'll give you a little more storyline to this.
There we go.
So,
Thank you.
So Chris, our guitarist, lived in Japan for a while. So he grew up in Kentucky, moved
Excuse
to
me?
Japan. I know, so that he could teach there. And he was in a band, Easy Core, and he would play these shows for bands. Like he would open for like bands that came from America, who use this RNR tours to do the tour. So he became friends with those people. And after he moved back, there was always this talk of like, hey, man, you should come back someday and be that American band that, these Japan bands would then open for. And so, of course, we've talked about it 100 times. And I was like, oh, God, it'd be such a bad idea. Man, like, do we really have a fan base over there? And he has, kept a decent, like, I don't know, rapport with the people over there that he knew, but we also have a decent following on Twitter or X, and that's almost exclusively Japan based. So we went over there, and much to me and Sam, I think as well as surprise, we had a great following and just played 4 amazing shows and had a blast. Yeah, like I was the naysayer. I was like, let's not do this. Let's not do this. And then right before, I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. I'll be there. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it. And I'm so glad I did because, like Sam said, it's like a bucket list item to have music, take you to a different country in that way, especially the way that it did for us.
Been there before prior?
No.
I've been to a few countries in Asia. So I was in the Marines, and I actually played drums in the Marine Corps band. So I got to play like covers. I was in like a cover like rock band. So I got to play in like Australia and Thailand, Tonga, stuff like that. But I never got to actually spend time in Japan. There was always somewhere I wanted to go back to. So it kind of worked out that I just got to do that as well. And it's even cooler for me because it was original music rather than playing covers.
Right. What was you sat down, you're like, what was the holy shit moment we're in Japan for you guys?
When I
You
threw
go
up
ahead,
on the
Sam.
plane.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Well, I won't talk about that. That's fine. Go ahead, Kevin.
For me, so we had VIP every night. And I specifically remember the first night we had VIP, I was a little taken aback, and I was like, this is so cool. There's, a bunch of people in line to meet us and take a Polaroid picture with us and all this stuff. And I remember there was one guy who didn't want to talk to us, not because he didn't want to talk to us, because he was just so shy.
Okay.
Like the people in Japan are very different culturally, right? So anyways, this guy was so shy and he just didn't want to talk to us. And I was like, hey, that's cool. No problem, whatever. But I remember as I was playing, I saw him and he was front row. And we played the whole show. People go crazy. Everybody's slapping hands with us at the end. And he came up to me afterwards and gave me the biggest hug. And he wouldn't talk in the beginning, but after he saw us play, he was just so excited. He couldn't even contain himself. He gives me a big hug and he's like, you're amazing. You're amazing. And that moment for me, you couldn't take the smile off I'm sorry, somebody's calling me, my bad. But yeah, you just couldn't take the smile off my face at that moment, because it's just such an incredible feeling. And that sort of summed up that entire trip for me.
I can feel it radiating off of you.
Yeah,
and I really, really, really hope you have a picture of that so I can add it
I
to the clip.
don't.
As
I
you,
don't.
no!
I don't. I'll go through the VIP stuff and see if we happen to have me and him maybe like shaking hands or something.
Yeah,
We'll
just
see. I'll see. I'll see what I can do for you.
How about for you?
Yeah. So yeah, I said throwing up. I get a little motion sickness, and it's a 13-hour plane ride. So I like to make people laugh. So I'll give them this story. It hit me when I was in Japan. Yeah, the pilot's like, "We're gonna be landing soon," and I was like, "I got this, I got this." And then I just blew chunks like all in this bag. My our bassist that came with us made for me, and it was fine. I got it all in the bag, but then it started leaking out and just running, and I was afraid. So I grabbed the blanket, put it on there. When we landed, I had to tell someone. I wasn't going to walk away. I don't know the language, so it was really awkward getting this across that like I threw up, like I got sick, and she's like, "Oh, like it's okay, like." Well, like what, like what's going on, like basically. And so I showed her, and she goes lift it up, and I was like, "No, don't do that, no." And she screamed, like screamed, and she was like, "Oh," and like kind of screamed. She's like, "It's okay, it's great off," and yeah, and I was just like, "Wow, man!" Like, I kind of felt like dumb and just rude, and
There couldn't have been
it happens all the time, I'm sure.
Couldn't have been
but,
two more different stories
like,
about.
Konnichiwa.
Oh my! Couldn't have been two more different stories about how we remember Japan.
But that was me. That was Japan. Like that was my first interaction. With,
your holy shit moment.
Yeah,
Did you turn around and you're
I'm
like, "All right, guys, let's go."
Yeah.
And I was
Now
like,
it's time.
Yeah,
I'll make you feel a little bit better.
It's on.
About that. This is the only way I'd be able to tell this story because how else do you bring this up? So we had Friendsmas. It was just me and the guys, and we went to, it's called Crazy Mexican, and it's a really great Mexican restaurant here in West Virginia. Yeah, put those two things together. It's around Christmas time. It's busy. We get it. We're not, excuse me, we would like to have our food now. We just ordered, like, we get it. Things happen. Can't really tell if it's short-staffed. If it is, again, whatever. We're like exchanging gifts. We're having a good time. But then we notice like, wow, it's been like 30 or 35 minutes and we haven't like seen anything. Like we haven't even gotten our waters yet. So at some point, like we're looking around, we're like, So eventually everything starts coming and I get this, like, I don't know how to pronounce it and I'll have to just put a picture up, but it's like this big bowl of meat and it has like melted cheese and it's like sizzling. It's really good. It has like chicken and steak and this and that. Now, you cannot pick this up with your hands and eat it. You have to use a fork and knife. Guess what they didn't have?
Any silverware?
No, because they ran out, they told us. So here's some plasticware. And so I'm like, you could just like wash.
Yeah.
We'll wash them if you want us to. Anyway, so I'm like trying my best, and everyone's like kind of like ha ha ha, but also it's been like an hour and 20 minutes, and we're just getting here. Like, anyways, we eat as much as we can, box up the rest, and my guitarist Tyler looks at me. He goes, "Hey Kev, I gotta go to the bathroom." I was like, "Okay, go. You don't need my permission, buddy." He goes, "You understand? The toilet in the men's is already full." And I can't do anything about it. I was like, well, I don't know how much longer we're going to be waiting. Also, I'm not trying to make anyone sick by this, but it's a funny story. Just wait it out. He's like, I don't know if I can wait another 5 minutes, Kevin. I'm like, homie, I think you could. I just like willpower. Like I'm just trying to talk him into it. He is. So we're like sitting. Eventually we stand up. Like all of us just stand up because we're like, maybe we can get out of here faster with our checks.
Yeah.
We stand up and go, hey, we're done. Like, I don't know what
Push
to do.
them. Yeah.
We're standing, we're looking at each other. He's sweating. I'm looking at him sweating. And I'm like, dog. So he goes, Kev, I'm going to need you to stand outside the women's as I go in the women's. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, Tyler, I can't. I cannot do that for you. Like, I would love to. This is a very best friend moment that we're going to have, but I can't do that for you. He's like, okay. So he just runs to the nearest person. He almost like grabs him. He's like, listen, do you have a second bathroom? He goes, yeah, my friend. Yes, of course. It's over here. He's like, oh my God. So it was just, it's kind of similar. I wanted you to feel a little bit better. It didn't get any worse than that. Everything's good.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
But that's the only way I can tell that story. So thanks for listening. So moving on, 2025 is here. What goals do you guys have for 2025?
Play more, bigger, better shows. Definitely, that's definitely one. And just keep on the same trajectory that we've been on, writing with the writing, and we keep hammering the dynamics that we like to deliver, and just stay true to that. Yeah, we've got a good community on Discord, the speakers community that we're building there, and we've been having a lot of fun there. So want to like take that to the next level and just like really provide for them. Yeah, there's a few of mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we had really good, steady growth in 2024. We'd like to just see that double or triple or however many multipliers we can get. But yeah, as long as we're kind of continue to grow and continue to go in the correct direction and giving the people who've been supporting us the content that they want, then I think we're ultimately going to be very happy doing what we're doing. So yeah, we're stoked on where we're at right now and what we've already been given. We're very grateful. And yeah, we just appreciate everybody being on the ride for us and hope that they stay on the ride.
Very well said. So you got your goals, you got the new EP coming, you got a tour. What about advice? I ask this question toward all of my interviews, toward the end. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I've talked to huge, crazy bands and then bands that just started like last week, and they all have different answers. So what would your advice be for a band just starting out, or maybe they want to move up to the next level?
I was like to tell everyone, first and foremost, like if you really believe in what you've got, you're passionate about it, and it's genuine, because I think that's really like what cuts through the most and lasts. Sometimes a fad is a fad, it comes and goes. But if you got something genuine, it's got something that lasts. So if you've got that and you believe in it, then don't quit.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I guess to add to that, I know it can be very daunting, everything that's in this game, keeping up with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the heck a lemon 8 is. There's just so many different things that you could be doing. Focus on what you do well. I would definitely say that that's a very important piece of it. And like Sam said, stay authentic to what what got you started, basically. I think it's okay to mature and adapt and evolve and things like that. But if you're not authentic to what you're doing, you're going to get burnt out on it. So, make sure that you believe in the message that you're putting across. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out and not want to continue it. So we've been very fortunate. I would say that Sam and Chris are very fortunate that the members who have joined since them have been willing and able to kind of continue with the same mantra, the same ideals, and kind of just continue to push this authentic self. And our motto, speak true, be you. We're all about it. And I think we're just rolling with that. And as long as you're able to kind of follow that, then I don't think we're going to burn out.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can't wait to see the captions as you're saying that, because you're saying be authentic. You guys can attest to this. I did not send you guys questions. This is all off the cuff. I'm just rolling with it.
Yeah.
And both of you, very well said on that. So like, I hope people really grasp onto that. And Kev, especially with the social media thing, have either of you guys been like out of work for whatever reason for however long?
I got very lucky. Actually, my business kind of boomed when COVID happened, because everybody, this is really funny that the two of us are on here too, because I'm a general contractor, and the way that I got into this band was I was looking for painters, and Sam is a painter. So now Sam works with me. So isn't that interesting? So we I think Sam's in the same basic boat. Around COVID, it kind of boomed because everybody went home and they wanted to see stuff happening at their house because they were stuck there. They were like, I want my bathroom renovated. Like, this place stinks. I want my house painted. So yeah, luckily we've been very fortunate. And I think I could speak for Sam when I say we've been very lucky that neither of our businesses have slowed down that much.
So I asked that because, like, Kev, why are you asking that question? I'm still recovering from a torn thing in my bicep, and I was out of work for basically a month, sitting here bored, and I was thinking about COVID. But at the same time, you were mentioning all these streaming services and this and that. Do you guys have one guy, or do you split that up amongst yourselves of, all right, listen, we got to do social media? Like, is it just one guy in the band, or is it everybody?
No, we kind of divide and conquer. I think everybody kind of plays their role, and we really try to push each other too. This is a constant point of emphasis, is like, hey, Sam, can you make this video? And Dylan be like, hey, here's an idea. And Robbie be like, oh, I thought, we all five kind of push each other to make it. But me and Chris tend to do the most like editing and pressing,
Scheduling
post or
the
whatever.
actual post.
But we're all making it and we're all pushing each other to make it.
So great. I'm glad you guys do that. I asked because you can see, I mean, if you had to do everything, every post, every reel, every this, every that, like people are like, social media, that's not a job. One of
Yeah.
that.
It's like a full-time unpaid
Dude.
job for bands. Yep.
And they don't get paid for it. It's just like they're just doing it for fun. So thanks for answering that. Now,
Cool.
I have just enough time to ask my very fun question. And I have to disclose this. I have stolen this question from the ECHL, which is right under the NHL. I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know anything about sports.
Cyclones, baby.
Cyclones are in the ECHL.
There you go. Okay. So you might have heard of the Wheeling Nailers.
Yeah. I feel like we play the Wheeling Nailers like every week. That's
We crush them.
Where's the Cyclones from?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Cyclones. Stolen this question from the Nailers. Who, in your phone contacts, is the most famous person you know? And would they answer if you called them?
Oh man.
Full disclosure, we're not calling anybody, but
yeah, I was gonna say mine is probably it's for sure a Bengals player because I was a property manager for a while and I managed a bunch of Bengals players. I highly doubt they would answer. A few years ago they would have because they'd have been like, "What's wrong? Is everything okay with my apartment?" But I don't manage that property anymore and they don't live there. So yeah, I probably got like 18 Bengals players and like 10 Reds players in my phone. So
wow.
Actually, I know it's probably Adam Duvall. He played for the Reds and then he played for the Braves. So he's won a World Series. I'm going to say he's probably the most famous, but there's a slew of professional athletes in my phone.
That's awesome. How about for you?
The level of fame here might just be like ECHL kind of fame or something, but I was either thinking it's either going to be someone from Softspoken or my uncle. His name's Herb Sendek, and he's a NCAA basketball coach.
Whoa!
He coaches. He used to coach Arizona State and had the pleasure of coaching James Harden, who's in the NBA, and a few other NBA players. But he currently coaches Santa Clara out in California.
I bet he'd answer for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very nice. Okay.
He calls me Salmon Slammy Baja. I don't know where the Baja came from, but I do like Baja Blast.
There you go.
Well, guys, I do appreciate a little bit of your time today. As you can see, it wasn't super duper business the entire time. We get to learn a little bit more about you guys as individuals and more about the band. Softspoken, I'm going to talk to you guys here in a second off air, okay?
Sure, yeah.
So that's Softspoken. They got a new EP coming out. They got tours coming out. My cat is coming up. Let's get him up here. Get him up. This is Max. He's going to join me on my shoulder for a little bit. So thanks for joining this episode of the Kevin Powell Podcast. We appreciate it as always. We'll see you guys next time.